Welcome everyone, Louise here, and this is my first light language transmission for 2020. So welcoming you all, and here in Australia the year has got off to a very intense start with all of the bushfires. And of course there are a lot of emotions arising around that as we witness, and some are experiencing this directly. I just drove back from Victoria through thick smoke haze. We're on high alert all the time because there are fires to the north, to the south, to the west. So of course this brings up a lot of emotion, and we're at the end of this week we're moving into the full moon in Cancer, also with the lunar eclipse, and Cancer is very much about emotion, and the moon is at home in Cancer, so it's about us feeling that security in our emotions, being able to feel our emotions, support ourselves emotionally. And then we have the sun in Capricorn, and as well as the sun in Capricorn we also have other planets, Saturn, Pluto, Mercury, all of these contributing to this earth energy and this energy of the real world. Capricorn's about that, what's happening here. It's about what commitments can we make, can our leaders make around dealing with those issues on the earth. And of course with this mother energy with Cancer too, what I was feeling into that is the earth as mother, and the earth as mother is going through a very big purification now. And there is definitely this shift. We need this in the world, this move towards more of the divine feminine, and we have Cancer and Capricorn both bringing that feminine energy in. And there's always of course a process of clearing when change happens. So some of the guidance that has been coming through is about not taking this personally and feeling that we're a blight on the earth that we need to be purged. So not taking that angle on that and feeling that about ourselves, but at the same time being aware that there is a bigger process happening here for the planet, for each individual country as well. It's not only our country that's experiencing natural disasters, and it can feel really apocalyptic at times. And I know I've been tapping into and feeling quite unsettled, and really feeling that collective grief and anger and hopelessness. For many might be feeling that sense of hopelessness. So I think this is a really important time for us to remember that we've chosen to be here at this time. We've chosen to be here at a time of transition, and that really the most important thing that we can do is to meet what arises in ourselves, be responsible for our own feelings, be responsible for our actions. And as always at the beginning of a new year, taking that time to reflect on, what is the change that I want to see in the world? How do I want to contribute to that? What's my soul calling for me to contribute? Sometimes we can think, I should be out there fighting the fires as well. But that's not necessarily your calling. It could be that you're about providing emotional support for people. Maybe you're a truth teller. You're about telling people what's going on. We all have our different roles to play, and so I really encourage you at these times of intense uncertainty, when the world is shifting around you, to come back to your heart, to come back to yourself and your own inner wisdom and your inner safety and security. And so what's really coming through for me from the family of light is for us to really tap into the universal mother energy that's available for all of us, because there's also an energy of clearing family dynamics, issues around our own parenting, where we maybe didn't feel safe and secure and cared for and taken care of when we were younger. So to let your own parents off the hook, let your own family off the hook, and look for that support directly from the universal mothers, from Divine Mother, Divine Father, and build that connection within yourself so that you can feel deeply resourced. And that's the other clear message that's coming through, is that we do have the resources that we need. I know it seems right now we feel like there's not enough water, there's not enough rain. We're in drought here in many parts of Australia. But to trust that the earth herself, Gaia herself as a system, is doing what she needs to do to rebalance herself, and that there will be regeneration and there will be the resources available for what we need, and there always have been the resources. And of course, we have to look to ourselves for how we've mismanaged those resources, how we've abused that, been greedy, taken more than what we need. So I feel like a big message from all of this is for us to come back into that, living much more minimally with what each of us need, and that there is enough for everybody when we work appropriately with the systems of the planet, which of course a lot of the indigenous peoples understood. So it feels, particularly for Australia right now, there's a big purification of all of those, that mismanagement, that, and a lot of just the energies that are trapped in the land here around, just the whole history of Australia. There's a lot of pain and grief around exile and exploitation. So, it's happening at this larger level for countries, for the planet. And of course, it's happening also at the personal level, because we're all interconnected and we're all here together to experience this together, to remember that we are connected, to one another, we're connected to spirit, we're connected to the earth, we're connected to the universe. And what you can do most to serve yourself is to give yourself what you need, to offer yourself time and space to meet and clear the emotions that are arising for you. And a beautiful way that I like to do that is using a process called the compassion key, where you give yourself compassion. You speak words of compassion out loud to yourself for what you're feeling, for what you're witnessing, for what you're observing in the world around you. So an example of that might be, as you're witnessing all of this going on around you and feeling helpless, you might want to say to yourself, just breathing into your heart and your solar plexus, and just speaking out loud to yourself, I'm so sorry you feel helpless. So that's how that would work. Okay, you just name the feelings. And I'm going to do much more of this in my next global gathering coming up at the full moon on Friday, Australian time, the 10th of January. The full moon is 10th, 11th of January, depending where you are in the world. And I'll be going deeper with that. So that's part of that process, is really taking some time to meet your own feelings and what you're observing, whether that's anger, frustration, helplessness, despair. Yeah. And so then the second part of that, I feel, is to really use this full moon energy, or at any time, in fact, not just at this coming up full moon, but I'd love you to be able to come back to this transmission and this video and use this at any time when you're feeling overwhelmed by what's going on around you, and when you need to recenter and come back to your heart as a place of safety. So I really encourage you to acknowledge that your heart is capable of processing anything. It's capable of transmuting anything. It really has that ability to, when you keep it open, right? When you're willing to presence that, to allow it to move through simply by feeling it, by witnessing it, by bringing your presence to it. And this is what this, Cancer energy can really bring to us. Being at home with our emotions, feeling safe. So many of us are, often crying out and projecting our own pain out into the world because we didn't get that comfort and that presencing of how we feel. So rather than looking for others to do it, I really encourage you to do this for yourself and to really take a moment. So let's do that now, and just breathing deeply into our hearts and just acknowledging that whatever is going on around us, there is this place of sanctuary and safety in our own hearts. And to know that everyone is equally resourced, everyone is equally loved, everyone is equally supported. And that when we take this time just to drop into our hearts and feel what's happening, feel what's going on, but not plunge into it, to be able to have that spaciousness, just to witness it, just to feel it, just to notice it, and to give yourself that compassion and comfort that you need for whatever is arising for you. So the light language transmission I'm called to bring forth today is around that, being able to maintain a place of emotional safety in the midst of deeply uncertain times. So I invite you, as always, to take a deep breath and to feel yourself, let yourself ground into the earth, and also connect your energy up and around you, connecting to your own guides and all of the support that's there for you. There are so many beautiful light beings just really really witnessing us and sending their love and support, understanding what it is we're going through, and just to know that is a real comfort, certainly for me. And to call in your own higher self and allow your own higher self to receive the transmission. As always, these frequencies, these healing frequencies come through and can be directed by your higher self into whatever is the highest for you. So I really invite you to set that intention to receive what you need from this today. And we give thanks for that beautiful support that comes from the higher realms. And we ask that that be offered to all of creation at this time. So simply allowing yourself to relax and receive. Norea karo sauro o mea kiara taro awa. I mainga arato sa I da arokala et imara sa te I. O akia sa I ire me alotaru wa ia sa to ich iro wara ak imaro ta I. Karola anamasa ti iro alo kweni. E maro asana I kaborocha ot ori I armasa kwa ech ip at orini I abrota. E kia saad or inenje it ip oruku aya atarele itine satoke I. Awaka ini miri isauro och irus or urma ar ik ar ut as ab irime et iri. Irur saar it imire kola at arele it irusat im arkot I. Asa sho irime I akora at ari mo sa I cherukot I. Ra alakot arime e sibar ut aish it ur at imiki. Roale it sor ach imirisut or it era at an akor ich it I. Ako asiba at orima asai chi inu noramare it arokosate I. Ok awasi it imaro asai chi it ip arota a. Earosat in maso she ip aroka lit aros at I akro at am. O ashi orot at I sakot anichi e ot or ot I. Ma ak are chi as ot I as or ich ama oak I ati. Angaro to I shauro at ap arene sit I kalocha or it I me. Aroala at ar I ak amosa ish as or at imor au akiara at. Taking a deep breath and exhaling. So what they were saying and showing there was really that to really acknowledge that we're all of our energies are co-creating together, and for you to really own that how you feel and how you vibrate, the vibration that you're offering in the world is really important. It's really valuable. And also this invitation to really witness and support Gaia with love as she moves through this purification, to to envisage yourself outside the earth and feeling into that multidimensional self that you are, and you have connections to many other places in the universe, and to really send your love and open your heart to allow this process to run its course, to trust in that higher plan, and to really allow yourself to meet with that same openness, anything that's arising for you. And they're showing it, as smoke. Like if you just allow the smoke to arise, it moves up and dissolves, rather than putting a blanket on it and damping that down. So there's that energy of allowing what needs to move is what they're saying. So for you personally, find ways that you can resource yourself. If you need to get out in nature, if you need to go for a run, I have noticed a lot of just accumulated agitation sometimes in myself, and just gone I went to a yoga class, and it was beautiful just to be on the yoga mat, to have that precious moment within all of the anxiety. It was one of the really extreme fire danger days, but that moment of being on the mat that resources you, whatever that practice is for you, meditation, movement, sound, allowing yourself to, I've been using light language a lot to move that energy through. So you don't need to know particularly anything about it, just allow it to move. So provide that for yourself. That's the best thing you can do, is to give yourself what you need so that you can then be a resource for others. You can then be filled up and ready to share your love and your light with the world, which is what you came to do. So, these other times we chose to be here now, and knowing also that you're in community, that you're not alone in this. So noticing any feelings of isolation that come up, really meeting those, meeting any feelings of, exile and loss, allowing yourself to heal those. There will be deep grief arising, no doubt. But again, and also not to judge these emotions. There's nothing wrong with these emotions, but they do need to move. So I hope that that's helpful for you. I know there are lots of incredible resources out there now, around the fires. There are lots of people doing beautiful support work. So allow yourself to be guided to what works for you, what's in the highest for you. And just to really acknowledge yourself for being here at this time and holding this light at this time. That's all that is asked of you, is to be here with full presence and awareness, and be willing to do what it takes to offer that light. I feel like 2020 is going to be a big year for all of us, where we will be really asked to look at what are we here to offer, how are we serving. That's probably going to stretch you in many ways, particularly if you identify as a light worker. As I said before, I'm going to be going a little bit deeper with all of these themes and how we can work with these energies at this time on Friday in the Global Gathering, where you can join me live or catch the replay soon after. So the link below to register, it will be there. And the other thing that I'm launching in 2020 is from February, I'm going to be leading some Sophia circles, where we'll be working with the Sophia Code text by Kaya Ra, which is really it's an invitation to step back into that divine feminine leadership, to activate that divinity within you, to embody more of your higher self here on earth. That's what we really want to be doing. We want to be operating from the fullness of our higher self. So that often means meeting all of the wounding around having been victimized, having been persecuted, having sacrificed yourself in many lifetimes of spiritual work. So we want to clear all that, because we really want to be operating now from this place of equal sovereign divinity, where all of us are empowered, all of us are able to be earth angels here with our wings up, supporting everything and everyone that's happening here from this open-hearted place, where we're allowing the grace of Sophia, of God, of Mother, Father, God, the divine, to flow through us and create and orchestrate the miracles on the earth that we need at this time. So if you're interested in that, I'm running an online circle and an in-person circle where I live. So again, there'll be a special link to book a call, and we can just talk about that, and I can tell you a bit more about it, and you can see if that resonates with you. As always too, I have my Voices of Light Facebook group. I'm planning to pop in there today and do a little bit more of a process around the fires. So I would love to see you there. Please join us in that community. I send you much love and many blessings for this new year, this new decade, and I encourage you to come back to this at any time if you feel you want a little bit more support, to just anchor back into that place of being able to meet your emotions and feel safe, even in the midst of all of this change. So I wish you namaste, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks at the new moon. Much love. Thank you for watching.